See, if you want to have a YouTube channel, you gotta start a YouTube video. It's really that simple, apparently. So I just decided to throw on my mic, throw on my camera, and we're just gonna start. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT for 5 different words I can tell my podcast listeners about. Podcast says turning point. Number one, turning point. Number two, obsession. Number three, coincidence. Number four, regret. Number five, discovery. These, I feel like you want me to be deep. You know, you could have just said Apple, and then I would have told a story about Apple. You know what I mean? But we're gonna ball. Turning point. The moment when everything changes, big decisions, sudden realization, or unexpected events. What was the last turning point of life? Oh, I think my last turning point was when I made the decision to stop school and to start focusing on the stuff that I really want to do, which is, for example, building this YouTube channel. It's been months since I made the decision, almost a year even. And that's also around the time, a few months later, I also broke up with my ex. It was really a turning era. It was a turning era where I decided I need to change a lot of things. You know why? Because of therapy. Blame it on my therapist. She made me realize a few stuff, and I was like, wow, I'm not living life to my authentic self. So let me start changing some things. So I did. Do I regret any of them? Actually, no. None of them. I think the only thing I do kind of regret, which maybe I don't now, is legit. Like, I wanted to start my YouTube channel, and it's almost a year, and I'm only doing it now. So, do I regret doing it sooner? Maybe. But I'm doing it now. So, it cancels out. But yeah, that's maybe my last turning era. I don't really have anything else. Let me think. Oh, maybe a turning point actually was 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. I had a guy over, and I've met up with this guy before. We've flirted, we've made out before, we've done cutesy stuff, but not in a dating type of way, because I'm not a dating type of person very much. I do love going on dates, but I'm very picky before I get there. And I always make that decision when it comes to going into a relationship, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. Until. No, there's no until. But yeah, for one time, I was kind of dating this. We weren't dating. It was a few months after my breakup, and I wanted to experiment a little bit by, having a little makeout session here and there with a few guys. So I met up with this one dude, hated it, horrible. Regret. Is that one of the words? If it's one of the words, I'll talk about it. It is. Yeah, you're getting another story time. But yeah, and then I met up with the second dude, and the second dude was actually very pretty. But anyway, I knew that I found him physically attractive, but hey, I was just there for a makeout session. I didn't really want more. But it's been a minute since I had like a intimate moment with somebody, even with my ex-partner. Like, we've been in a relationship for a year. We didn't really have many physical intimate moments. So now I'm like with this guy, we're having physical intimate moment, but for some reason, like, I'm able to do that, but have like a mental block in it all. And then when a few nights ago he came to my place, and I was like, we were having a physical intimate moment, like we were just making out, feel like physical intimate moment makes it sound so nasty. A little too professional. And we were just making out, dude. But for some reason, I really started realizing that I was like, okay, Damien, like keep keep the boundaries in your head. And I felt like I started controlling the vibe or something, like controlling the way we think. Like I needed to know what's gonna happen next. So I started like playing from that angle. So asking questions a little bit from that angle, like, hey, what are your kinks? What do you want to do next time? But then I realized, like, yo, why am I asking these questions? And that's when I realized, like, I think I'm starting to trying to control. So I asked him about his kinks. He was like, bro, I literally don't have kinks. I just want to have good sex. I was like, okay, but tell me about your kinks. Like, don't be modest, don't be shy. Just tell me about your kinks. He's like, yeah, no, I just want good sex. I'm like, and I started hammering on it. And I was like, yo, let me chill. Is this arm bigger than the other arm? I think it is. It's because I jerk off a lot. It is, but it's not crazy. Okay, but it is though. Anyway, I'm going to the gym later. And also, this is my left arm, so it makes sense. Anyway, coincidentally, the week before that, I was talking to my best friend, and I told my best friend, like, hey, to be honest, the next time I date, I don't really think I wanna like have a whole mentally intimate relationship for real. Like, I don't want you to carry my burdens. I don't really want to do anything. And like, if I don't want to talk to my partner about things like I talk to my psychologist about, like, I just want a date to have fun and have good sex. Like, I want to hang out and we do fun stuff that we have in common, and we also have good sex, and that for me is enough. Like, I don't really want more than that. I don't want that intimate mental intimacy shit. um so when that guy was telling me, like, yeah, he just wants good sex, I was like, my light bulb went on, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of what I want too. And yeah, that like kind of made me realize, like, yo, I gotta chill. I can chill about this. Like, and then I realized, like, I felt like I was asking for his kinks and what we're gonna do just so I can mentally prepare for who I'm gonna be. Like, am I gonna make it a mission to become a new person, basically? What new traits am I gonna learn or develop, so I can please somebody, or so I can make sure the next era I am prepared for, instead of just chilling. And it was cool to realize that I can just chill. So anyway, the turning point was, first of all, in that moment, just having a physical, intimate moment with somebody, just by making out, feeling their warmth, liking each other, like kissing and everything. It's been a really, really long time since I've done that. So that was a pretty turning point. But also like realizing that life can be different than I'm used to. So yeah. Obsession can be funny, dark, or intense. Something or someone you just can't let go of. I think I'm secretly a little bit obsessed with how depressed I was with my old job. I hated the job and I'm glad it's over, but I feel like I just can't fully let it go. And I don't know why, because I really, really want to. Maybe it's the fact that I literally see my job out of the window. Like, where I live is across the street from my job, my old job. So I can see it every day, every time. I'm literally looking at it right now. So maybe that's why I can't really let go of the mental. I think it's also like it I was so fucking fucked up, depressed, and drained about the job that now that that's all over with, I'm kind of like realizing, like, damn, that really fucked me up. And then I'm thinking, like, damn, it's really crazy how that job really fucked me up. Like, it's really, really a little bit crazy how impactful one asshole at a job can be, like how miserable that time period can become. I feel like it's the same thing if you're in a toxic relationship or if you have a horrible friendship going on. That really does fuck up more than just when you're with that person. Like, it fucks up everything around it. So, yeah. But other obsessions, weed. I'm stopping smoking. I had my last smoke last night and I realized that I really wasn't enjoying life that much. I was kind of having this existential thing about, like, yo, am I alive or not? Am I in a movie or not? And everything just seemed a little bit too offy. And I was like, whoa, I think it's time to cut it out. So, yeah, cut it out. Coincidence. Bro, there's nothing that I can say about coincidence. I love a good coincidence, but I don't like talking about coincidences. I love talking about it when it's happening, but right now there's no coincidental thing happening. Right now there's no coincidental era in my life right now. And if I talk about wanting it, I feel like it's not gonna happen and I want it to happen, so I'm not gonna fuck it up. You know what I mean? I'm just not gonna talk about it. Regret. Let's get into it. So the first guy that I date or that I met up with, I this is a long story, but I knew this guy from Grinder, and I knew this guy was low key a little crazy and a little toxic because every time we talk, he would like tell me like, I know guys like you're obsessed with me, like, and granted, on pictures, this guy has he had the amazing. So I understand why his ego was fed like that. Except it came to a toxic point where he would like kind of like make me feel bad while talking to him. And the first few times I would brush it off. I would be like, you're just a little bit younger than I am. I understand the superiority complex type shit. But then it started getting to a point that I was like, ooh, this is happening a little bit too often. I gotta chill with you. So I started telling him like, yeah, like I'm not interested in you anymore. Obviously, I think he gets a little bit more interested, but I'm just telling him like, hey, I don't have time for this shit. So then he wants to argue. I don't want to argue. We start arguing like that, and yeah, it just doesn't. We don't even argue. I'm just like, hey, bro, like you're taking too much of my energy. Like, cut it out and get off my life. Um, doesn't really go well to be real. And then at some point, um, he showed up, or like at some point, I go to work and he was there drinking a bubble tea with his friend, and I recognize him, he didn't recognize me, but I completely ignore him. So I completely ignore his existence and I just do my work. Next thing I know, I look over to his table, his bubble tea and his friend's bubble tea are half drank. They left. It felt like a Tom and Jerry type of thing where you see the door just closing and it's like, that's how it felt. Anyway, that night he texted me on Grindr. He's like, hey, was that you? And I was like, yeah, I saw you right now. Just so you know, we're good. Uh, and then he starts talking. I'm like, hey, like, I just said we're good. As in, like, there's no bad blood between us, but like, we don't have to talk. I'm not interested. He's like, oh, I wanted to come and apologize about night last time because I know I fucked up and I know I was in a bad place. But yeah, um, I see you're on your superiority complex right now, so I'm just gonna leave you be. And I was like, yo, it's really not that deep. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's all good. We are legit okay. I don't hate you. I don't think you should hate me, but I'm just not interested in talking to you. Cool. The next day, he comes to my job again, this time with some friends. And I'm a little bit bitter now because I'm like, okay, now you know I work here. The first time you didn't know, the second time you do know. See, if it was me, if I was in your shoes, bro, even though my friends and I had plans to go there, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Oh yeah, because you know that night, like he also kept spamming me with shit, and then I blocked him. So he was blocked at that moment. So I was like, why would you come here since last night you were being annoying? I even blocked you. Like, why would you come to my job? He comes to my job. Anyways, um, anyway, he stays, it's all cool. That night he texted me via some other, I think it was it's Instagram. I honestly don't know. He texted me from another thing, and then he's like, "Hey, I really want to apologize. I'm really not that good of a person. Like, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, you should go get some help." He's like, "Yeah, but I don't know what to get some help in." So I really tell him like, "Yeah." So he's like, "Why do you think I'm a fucked up person?" I was like, "You really want to know, bro?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you, but just know it's constructively. I really want to tell you why I think you're fucked up." So I tell him why I think he's fucked up. And he apologized. We like have a chat about it. It's all good. But it was a Friday night. I was ready to make dumb decisions. So I go to his place at night, and I wasn't trying to do anything except just having a good time. I walk into his place. His face does not look like his pictures. Disappointment part one. Disappointment part two is I walk into his place and it's literally the floor is just dirty, bro. Like I already, this is strike two for me, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like I know we don't all got it together, but this is a little too dirty. Like this for me, I cannot imagine myself being comfy in this house. But I let my guard down, and I'm like, Reyrey, no judgments. Just get to know the person. So we're talking. Anyway, we start doing shit, and then he tells me he has herpes, but like it wasn't active, but he just tells me he has herpes. This was like a little bit too late, so I get really upset, and this is the point where I strongly regret. But my dumbass does not have the balls to pick up my shit and fucking skedaddle. I get upset, and I tell him why I'm upset. So I just go sit on the couch, start putting on my clothes and shit. And then I felt like I was doing something a little bit fucked up and a little bit rude by like wanting to dip. So I stay a little bit. At that point, someone starts banging on the door. They're banging. I'm thinking like it's because my voice is deep. It's probably going through the walls. And, it's 3 a.m. at this point. It might be a little bit annoying for people who are trying to sleep. So I start whispering something like this. A few times again, he starts banging, and then this guy like fucking he gets scared, but when he gets scared, he like yanks on my clothes. So like literally yanks my clothes. Bro, there's one thing to be scared, but like to yank my clothes, you're doing a little bit too much. So I tell him like, yo, I'm gonna go outside because I'm trying to leave anyways. Like if the worst thing that can happen is whoever's outside can kill me. And if they kill me, like, yo, at least I'm out of this shit, bro. I don't really care. So he's like, no, don't go outside. But because it's his place, I don't want to do anything that he doesn't want me to do. Because, again, like, I wanted to wait till the next time they knock so I can open the door, be like, yo, what's up? Like, if it's my voice, just be an adult and tell me that, like, hey, we're talking, you're being a bit too loud, and you can just tell us that. But I didn't want to do that to his neighbors if he doesn't feel comfortable with them because he's the one living there with his neighbors. So anyway, it happens a few more times, and I legit get my shit up and leave. At some point, I'm like, hey, good luck with all of this. I'm gonna go. I go outside, and then there's one guy comes out of his room, starts walking towards me like marching. Bro, I get ready, like I'm standing, I'm ready to fight, bro. Like I've already had a shitty experience. I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't know why we're gonna fight. I just know I'm ready to beat some ass. So I'm talking to another guy on the on the I'm talking to another guy who has his door open, and he's like, "Yo, did you open? Are you knocking on doors?" I was like, "No, bro. He just knocked on our door too. Like, I don't know what's going on." And then his best friend like comes around him outside of his room, comes around him and starts charging on me to fight. I'm like, "Bro, we can fight. I really don't give a fuck. I am not the person you want to fight right now because I didn't do anything wrong." But I got some anger that I wouldn't mind releasing. So you know what? We can do this. And then his friend's like, no, no, it's not him, it's not him, it's not him. Anyway, at this point, I go home. The minute I step on my bike, I tell my best friend how much I regret it. How much I regretted everything. Listen, I am not one to catch any diseases. So I did not enjoy the fact that there's a chance that I could get a disease. Immediately the next day, I call up the health institution for shit like this. Made my appointment, got tested. Luckily, I was completely safe. But damn, fuck that guy. Wasn't even pretty. Was dirty. Fucking annoying. Another red flag. I'm used to like white people wanting to ask like, hey, how do you feel about white people saying the N-word? Or how do you feel about the N-word? Stuff like that. Except this dude was kind of really telling me how a part of his family comes from South Africa and how they have a big name over there. And because they have such a big name, if you get what I mean, they had such a big name, they had to escape. And then they moved to Portugal or to Spain, some shit like that. Or Italy, one of the two. But like his family was very successful in South Africa. And I'm like, cool, story time, water under the bridge. But then I'm realizing he's telling this story quite often. He really wants me to know that they were successful slave owners. And like when he tells me to, he like takes a pause to like really see if I digest it, the horridness in his genes and in his bloodline. And I'm like, fuck, bro. I should get out. But I didn't. I guess I was self-deprecating. It was a disaster. Right now, he's one of the person that I hate with my life. I'm not gonna lie. Just because he put me at risk of a disease and something permanent too. If he died, I don't think I would care that much. I wouldn't be like, oh, he was so young. I'll be like, damn. Well, not that I wish death upon him, but if death came and knocked on his door, he put me through a lot for me to like not want to care that much. So yeah, regret your teens when you text them, cause you don't wanna chase and replace them. Don't waste their time, text them. Discovery, finding something new about the world. You know what I discovered? I discovered that I love princess treatment. And I feel like as a top, I usually spend time with guys and or like bottoms, and I'm usually one to like make them have a good time and for them to enjoy me exploring their bodies. Except it leaves me at a disservice, and I didn't know that. I thought that for me it's enough to like explore someone's body and I'm content. Turns out that apparently my body also wants things. that are not just and but my body also like apparently I like it when you kiss my ears. I like it when you're doing little nibble over here. Apparently I like shit like that and I didn't know that until one of my little rendezvous. And that was such a nice discovery. And then I realized for the next time if I'm dating somebody, I need someone who's gonna give me that princess treatment back. But you must also know your place because you're still a bottom and I'm still a top. In the sense of like, I got plans for us. You know? You get a little camera time here and there, but really I'm running the show. So you gotta know when you gotta do what you wanna do. So yeah, that's something I discovered. Anyway, I'm 25 minutes into recording, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for part 2.